Good Sunday evening, 5:22. I hope everyone had a great week. And as you guys are getting very close to the end of your school year, I hope everything is winding up nicely for you. We ended with students this past Thursday and have about one more week left before we're done for the summer in my district. But let's get started with week 5. You are officially halfway done with 522. I know some of you only have one or two more classes left in your program, so you're right there. You're right towards the end. So let's start week 5. A good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow, and that's from Wag the Dog. I love this quote for a couple reasons. Sometimes we in education can get stuck on developing this amazing plan, but we spend so much time trying to perfect the plan that we never actually do anything. We don't have any actions. And so sometimes a good action is better than a great plan that hasn't been implemented yet. Or I've heard it been said that, a good plan implemented is better than a perfect plan on the shelf. So as you wind down your school year and get into summer, just tuck that away for the beginning of next year, right? Maybe good actions or good ideas are better implemented than something that's not perfect yet. So a couple things real quick. I graded everything for week 4 already today that was submitted early. And so if you have stuff that you submitted, I already put a grade on there because I kind of wanted to see where everyone was. The presentations were really good that I've graded so far. I think I graded 9 of the presentations, 8 or 9. So a little more than half. A couple things that stood out to me is a few people did a really good job of finding design theme that really supported their emerging technology topic. And so, just make a point to say that, design can really help your content. So an average design versus great design can make a big difference. A few people really used notes very well. Once again, when you're submitting presentations like this, if you just have a sentence on a slide or a picture with no words, that's good, but I don't really know what you're presenting. Utilize the notes page. In Google Slides, one of the great things is you can actually format the notes page like it's a Google Doc. So you can actually make a handout for the people. And not for this class, I'm just saying in general, you can actually use it to format a handout that goes with that slide if you wanted to. You can embed documents and format it just like it's a Google Doc. So that's great. And then, so yeah, they were pretty good. There was a couple Powtoons, some Google Slides, some PowerPoint. And so what's great about this week is you're going to get to go through and see each other's presentations. So that's great. The discussion post, just a reminder to really make sure you're hitting your initial and your 2 responses before the deadlines. A few students are kind of getting hurt a little bit on the discussion post, and that's not a complicated thing for the course, though I know it takes time to format those thoughts. And when you're responding to co-classmates, make sure that you're not just saying, hey, that was a great point. Right? You actually got to add something to it. Submitting Google Docs and slides, I know I mentioned this at the beginning of the class, and I think I even did a little screencast on it, but you can't just submit the link, which I think about half of you did. I went ahead and graded it anyway, but you actually have to submit a tangible artifact. So I do prefer seeing the link to Google Slides because it's easier to grade that way, but you can easily download it as a PDF and upload that artifact into Blackboard. So it's just, I know it's one more step, but we do need the artifacts. And then finally, for this week, what a big focus is taking, there's all this stuff of new apps and new software and all this emerging technology. Sometimes what can get lost is the students or the learners as the end user. You can have this coolest tech, VR, AR, AI, and if the end users can't use it to a point where they're learning, what's the point? There's no point, right? And then also pedagogy. How are you changing what you're doing when you're teaching, and how are you setting up student learning when it comes to that technology? So that's kind of a focus of this week. So I'm just going to pop through a few things here real quick, and we'll make it a shorter announcement, I hope. You do have an article, Is Google Making Us Stupid? The one thing I would say is this is a fairly lengthy online article, and there's a lot of ads, which is very distracting. And so spend a little bit of time going through and reading that. What I actually found sometimes when I have articles like this that I'm pretty ADD and there's all this distraction, I'll copy the text and paste it into a doc and just have the text. And sometimes I can actually do some highlighting and things of that nature, and it just works better. And so that's a little bit of a longer article. So is Google making us stupid? Your posts are a little bit different. Your first post you have is posting your emerging technology presentation to the board. So real quick, we have a few people that are already jumping on board here. You guys are overachievers. So here's your presentation. That's totally fine. And then what you need to do is give feedback to 2 or more peers, questions and feedback. So make sure you really help them out, help them make the presentation better. That's the goal of commenting and having questions. And then the second one is, do you have any fears or concerns regards to students being dependent on technology? I don't know if fears is the right word, but yes, right? But what are they? So what are they, and how might you combat them, or how might you take some of those fears and concerns and alleviate them? And then the second part of this question is, what is one emerging technology that you would really like to try in your classroom, but due to availability or training, you haven't tried yet? And I love this question because maybe with the power of, there's 15 of us in here, if you have some issues with availability or training, the training part of it, maybe some of us can help you out with that. And if we've been training, and give you some ideas and tips. So those are the 2 discussion posts. And then your assignment 5 is really a double dipper. So make sure you understand this. For your first discussion post, which is giving questions and feedback to 2 peers presentations, you're getting 10 points for the discussion post, but you're also getting 10 points for an assignment. So if you do that one thing, you're actually double dipping on there. And once again, always make sure we're checking out the rubric, because that's how it's going to be graded. It's really one big box for the rubric. It's nothing earth-shattering for sure. So that is week 5. Remember, you have the week 1 prediction regarding future of education. Has anything changed to that? And that's just looking ahead, looking at week 8 in the presentation or the paper that you guys are going to be doing then. So those are the announcements for week 5. Once again, you have 2 discussion posts. Your first one is your presentation and commenting, and that's going to actually also be your assignment. So this week is a little bit of a breather room, but always be looking forward to weeks 6, 7, and 8 to know what's coming up. Once again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Most of you have been texting, which is totally fine, and make it a great week.